Alright gang, hopefully a short one. You already know I have this thing, right? My 705. Well, I also picked up a purpose-built accessory for it, right? I got the AH-705 tuner, and I haven't used it yet. It's still in the box. Literally, I haven't opened the box yet. I saw myself wanting to do some bands that I didn't have an antenna for over the weekend, and I didn't want to take that thing in the sky without testing it on the ground because, you know, it's a jump. I want to make sure everything works ahead of time. So today, hopefully shorty, I'm going to cut some wires for it. I'm going to cut a ground wire. I'm going to cut an antenna wire, put a couple of terminals on it, and I'm going to hunt some parks on the air. Let's see if this thing works, how well it works, how it behaves, and then I'll fit it into my pack and find a way of using it parachute mobile because it's on the list of things I want to try. So come along. Let's see what we got. So what we have here is a brand new AH-705 instructions. I might read those, maybe, if I can't figure it out. There ain't much to this, folks. I mean, it's a tuner after all, right? It's a box. BNC in, a couple of plugs for control and for external power, which, okay, that's what I thought. This thing has a battery compartment in it. I'm gonna have to get some batteries because what I want to do is I want to run this directly on its own without having to tap into my Denko. Although I will use the Denko if I need to. Guessing that's a control wire. It came with that. Came with a tuner and coax to get into the radio. So this thing takes, it's like a binding post without a binding post. Single binding post, if you will. Looks like it will take a banana jack on the back or through on the side, or maybe what I want to do is I want to see what size stud that is and see if I can have a ring that'll fit it, because then I'll just put a ring on the wire. Let's see, that is 230 thou. That's just over a quarter inch. I should have a ring around here that it should work. And ta-da! My bag of tricks. Test that to make sure that it fits. Oh, look at that, perfect. So we'll do that. I think I'm going to do the same thing for the ground wire. Let's see, where's the ground wire? Significantly smaller ring. You know what? Let me see if I have a smaller ring, and I'll use a smaller ring for that. There we go. I want to see if this grounding lug and the shield on the coax are the same. Okay, they are. Fair assumption that it is, but better to check, right? And I have some other rings here. Let's see, what size are these? These are, it doesn't say what stud size. Perfect. That's really what I want. I just want a ring that won't fit on the antenna stud, because that way I know just by feel the two different cables, although they'll be different lengths. The way I'm thinking about this is I'm going to have the ground cable with a small lead weight hanging below me, and that'll keep it vertical, and then the antenna wire behind me as I have been flying for the last couple of years, and that way I can keep the two faces separated. I got some of this like legitimately cool wire from Aaron. Aaron makes keys. I'll put a link there, or I should say I'll put a description there. I'll even put it on his, if I can find his website, that is. I know he's got a website. I gotta send him a message about it. This is some heavy duty Kevlar reinforced cable, or wire I should say. So I'm gonna build both legs out of this stuff, and we'll come back. So I have 2 lengths of wire cut. This is about, I think, 6 feet. And that's going to be my ground, and this is going to be, this is 25 feet. And quick tip, don't hang on to your tape measure as it's retracting, even though you think you're guiding it, because it will cut you. Let me put some terminals on these, and I'm just going to crimp them for now. If it works out, then I'll come back and solder them in, and I'll add a bit of heat shrink after the fact. Strong enough. And that's the little ring for the ground, and let me use, yep, that's staying put. 2 wires cut. Now it's time to hook this thing up and see what happens. I was putting away the box and I realized that I didn't notice initially that there's looks like a pole mount for the tuner, and I'd have to read the manual to figure out what that is for, but that's, I have no idea. I'll have to read the manual. But basically the tuner has a thread back here, so that's a 1/4-20. You can put that on the shoe of a tripod, just like the radio. Let's see. We're going to connect you there. And then you're going to go there. I suppose I should check if there's batteries in this thing right now. Nope, I need a couple of AA's. Through the magic of editing, we have 2 batteries. Let's see. There we go. We have the antenna feed line from the radio to the tuner. Next, we need the control cable. Now I'm wondering, is there a way for me to route that out of the bottom so I don't have to spill it over the side for the ground wire? All right, so generally I'm not keen on putting holes in bags, but this time I'm just going to do it. I'm actually wondering if this is going to work for me or not. Basically, I'm figuring if I hold it, it's a metal piece, and I'm holding it. Once I start feeling it getting warm, once I start feeling it warm where I'm holding it, it's time to try to punch a hole through the cordura. Not even a dent. Barely marked it. Time to try something else. Okay, so plan B for getting a hole in the bottom of this bag. Got a spike, a pair of pliers, and a blowtorch. I'm going to heat it up. Okay, the nail is starting to show. There we go. Nice clean hole. Done. I'm going to throw this outside so that I don't burn myself. Okay, so now that I have a nice clean hole through this bag, I'm going to feed this through. Wow. So this is going to be a snug fit no matter how I skin it in here, because with these connectors not being right angled, my the bag is not as wide as the whole build out. So maybe, just maybe, I'll do it this way. There we go. Feed as much out of the bottom as possible and then throw this over the top, and then my antenna wire will hang out over here. That'll work. That will work. Let's get this wire winder to handle the... I cut 25 feet, by the way. I don't know if I said that earlier or not, but I did some math and figured that 25 feet ends up being like 7.6, I think, meters. And if you double that up, that's 14 and change. Call it... oh, wow. I'm awful close to a 15-meter band if I do that. Well, we'll see. It is a tuner, so it should tune. In a worst-case scenario, if I have a resonant antenna on 15, come on. So there's my antenna wire wound up. I'm going to clip this here. Next, we're going to put the battery under everything. Let's see, over here so that it feeds on that side. And then my antenna feed line to the radio. So you might expect managing the content of my pack is an important bit for me. I don't want to carry anything more than I absolutely have to. Again, this goes back to reduction of complexity. Put that there. Let's see, put the microphone up here. And are you going to zip up for me? That zips up nicely. That is actually, I have that zipper anchored into this ring for the belt. So that'll work just right. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about putting adding some stitching to this side to keep the zipper from opening all the way. That's a problem for a different day. Today we're testing to see if this is going to work for me. Now you're going to say, you're not about to go skydiving, Carlos. Why are you tethering it in? Force of habit. That way, if I want to go skydiving and make a last-minute radio jump, I don't have to worry about bothering to tether it in then. I know that it is ready. So that's out of the way. Next, I'm going to take this and coil it. And I still need to add a way of putting a lead weight on it, or some kind of a weight on it. But if I tether this here, can I just loop it into... Oh, look at that. Look at that. I can just tether that there, loop it into the moly for the pack. And now I just need to put a loop there. Let me grab a couple of zip ties. Flush cut them out of the way. Ta-da! I have a place to put a weight. I have a couple of 2-ouncers here. I'm going to take a pull-up cord, which is what we use to close parachutes. And since I don't want any reactants whatsoever from this lead, actually I don't think this is lead. I think this is some kind of a non-toxic something rather other. The package says it's safe in California, so it can't be lead. Put that there. Put that through there. I can have that there, and I can throw this in the side pocket here. Oh, that is perfect, man. Look at that. It fits right on the side, and I can just, when it comes time to getting it out there, I can just pull this, drop it, and that should pull everything out. So, all right, everything's packaged up. It's time to clean up my mess and go outside and see if we can hunt some parks. All right, let's try this again. I have my iPad to run hammers and look at my POTA spots. I have my radio. The antenna wire's up on a mast so that I can get a signal. The ground wire's running on the ground back there. And let's see what we can get. I say try this again because I've recorded this twice now. Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November. Yeah, that's us. Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November. I have you about a 4-5 into northern Indiana. Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November. Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November.
You're about a 5-1.
5-1, I'll take it.
1716, so.
5-1, Kilo 1716. Thank you so much. I'm running QRP.
Oh, roger that. Well, when the bands are in, that's a good QRP.
Have a great one. Thank you for the park. 7-3.
All right, thanks for stopping by the park.
All right, so we got one station so far. Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November. 5-4. 5-4. I have you about a 4-5 into northern Indiana. 7-3.
Final call, November 4, Papa Lima Radio.
All right, so we have two on 10 watts using the AH-705 tuner. I'm digging this because this will let me do some bands that I don't have antennas for. All right, so we're hearing the activator on 7287. I'm going to drop down to, let's go to 7283. Go to function, tuner. Okay, let's go back to 87. Kilo Delta Niner Oscar Lima November. So I made a boo-boo. It tuned itself even though I didn't tell it to tune. That's interesting. I didn't realize that was one of the features. All right, so I'm going to have to be happy with two contacts parked on the air to test this out with. There isn't anyone in a band that is oddball that I can hear, so I can't fully test the tuner. But we know that the tuner works because, you know, even though I didn't tune it on that frequency, it automatically tuned. Sorry to the activator, I didn't mean to put a tone on your frequency while you were activating. I realize that it's only 10 watts, but every once in a while, every little bit counts. And tuning on an active frequency is a no-no, folks. That was my bad. I didn't realize it was a thing with the radio, with the way it's set up. But now I know. So there you go. The AH-705 is ready for Parachute Mobile. The next time I go to the drop zone, I'm going to probably do something on 12 or 17 meters just for kicks. We'll see you guys there. 7-3. Yeah.